And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Une Sports, brought to you by We're Off on Thursdays. episode This is episode 66, available on both Apple and Spotify, and also you will find it as well on YouTube. Just have to type Une Sports, and we're gonna have the credentials on the descriptions. You're joined with your host Mike and Richy. What's going on, Mike?
What's up, brother? Not much. Getting ready to the pod.
Yes, sir. We have so much to talk about. And exactly. So we're going to be talking about today's topics will be troubles in United. What's the best outlook? It's going to be our first topic. Then we'll be discussing also about Kai Havertz. Mike wants to discuss about that. And we're also going to discuss about Xavi and Barcelona. Are they regressing? And Team USA, what's their chances against Germany for the semifinal tomorrow at 8:40 a.m. Eastern time? Being a lookout. And also, while we're talking about the FIBA USA game, that same day tomorrow, Canada will be playing Serbia at 4:45 a.m. And we'll be back to start the episode 66. Welcome back. We're back to it's international break. Very good time for potting as well. A good break. We have so many good topics today. And before we start, Mike, I think I did ask you how you doing, but how's your Labor Day?
Labor Day was hot, man. I don't understand how people went outside. I mean, I get
went
it.
To the turnpike. I mean, not the turnpike, the parkway.
The parkway. Like, it was so hot, man. It's been a brutal weekend, like with the heat and the humidity over here in New York after we had like a cool week. But I mean, I get it. Like, not everybody's like me and dislikes the heat. Like, some people love to go outside and sweat and twerk and go twerk on somebody and
go twerk on the cops
and get twerked on and go enjoy the culture. I was inside looking at the trees from my window, in the comfort of the AC, running up the light bill.
I would have probably done the same as well, to be honest.
I was like, I'm not outside.
I forgot about the parkway, to be honest, but it seems that it's like you said, it's like enjoying the culture and stuff like that. And if some people have never been there before, probably it's a good opportunity for them. But I've done it when I was young. I'm good.
Let's talk about you, man. You had a big weekend, man. You had a big weekend.
Oh yeah, man. It was a very good big weekend. A couple friends were here. Shout out to all my friends and my family that was there. Baby shower, man. Very nice, very good. It went very smoothly. Everyone was happy. Kind of pissed off because I had too many beers to carry back home. It's like, bro, why were you guys not drinking, bro? Like,
we get older, Richie. We got the same tolerance no more.
From the audience, I'm not saying to drink. Drinking is bad. But I had like 4-pack bags. I'm like, bro, like,
as Richie has a beer next to him.
I know, right? Where's my receipt so I could get it back in Costco? Like, what the hell? But it was nice. It was good. It was good to see some friends and family. I had a good time. It was very tiring, but it was for a good cause, so I was very happy.
Nice.
Yeah. And so, as we're speaking right now, we can go over a quick bites before we start the topics for the day. The FIBA World Cup, it's reaching the semifinal right now. 2 games tomorrow. First game will be Canada versus Serbia, 4:45 a.m. Eastern time. Don't ask me what's the central time for it or mountain times. I don't remember. But USA Germany next, right after 8:40 a.m. Then the final will be on Sunday at 8:40 a.m. Sunday, September 10th, and the third place matchup will be on Sunday as well at 4:30 actually a.m. September 10th. That will be for the FIBA Basketball World Cup, and we have some good US Open matchups. For singles for women, tonight 7 p.m. Coco Gauff, she's gonna be playing against Muchova. So that's gonna be at 7 p.m. Coco Gauff is 6th in ranking, and Muchova is 10th. So Coco Gauff is actually she's having a good tournament. I believe it's her first semifinal in the US Open, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. The second one will be Keys versus Sabalenka. That's 8:15 p.m. Both at Arthur. How do you say the
Arthur Ashe?
Ashe Stadium?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it close to where you work, Mike? It's not in the city, right?
No, I think the US Open is like somewhere in Queens, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's in the city though.
For men's single, I actually let me see, Friday. So yeah, Friday there's gonna be semifinal matchup. I don't need to tell you who the first matchup is, Mike. You know he's gonna be in there. Alcaraz Garcia is gonna be there. The Madrista. He's gonna play against Medvedev. That's gonna be a very good matchup.
That's
7 p.m. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
The number 1 versus number 3.
Yeah.
And do you know who the other matchups are, Mike?
I'm seeing Novak Djokovic versus B. Shelton. I don't know who B. Shelton is, but
an American tennis player. But Djokovic, you know Djokovic.
I definitely know who Djokovic is.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Djokovic and Alcaraz final again. Ooh. So those are the matchups. So if you're a fan of Coco Gauff, tune in tonight. She's gonna be playing tonight. And there's also Euro qualifying games going on right now. Mm-hmm. Netherlands is leading 3-0 against Greece. Finland won against Kazakhstan 1-0. Lithuania tied against Montenegro 2-2. Czech Republic is leading 1-0 against Albania. Poland is 0-0 against Faroe Island. Slovenia is leading 4-2 against Northern Ireland. France is leading 2-0 against Ireland. Goals by the first goal was again for Tramini, a stunner, and the second was you said Thuram. Serbia is losing against Hungary 2-1. Denmark is winning 3-0 against San Marino. Let me see if Ojulun is now playing. No, not sure. Olun, sorry, I meant to say Holun. Probably, I don't know if he had. Oh yeah, he just he got on in the second half.
Yeah, the coach had said he's not ready to play a full 90 minutes yet, but he's fit. He's fit enough.
Fit enough. Then we have tomorrow's game is gonna be Spain versus Georgia at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Luxembourg is gonna play against Iceland tomorrow at 2:45. Bosnia is gonna play against Liechtenstein at 2:45 tomorrow against Turkey versus Armenia 2:45 tomorrow. Croatia versus Latvia 2:45. Slovakia versus Portugal tomorrow 2:45. And on Saturday there's gonna be Belgium against Azerbaijan and that's at 9 a.m. and Estonia versus Sweden 12 p.m. on Saturday, and Ukraine against England at 12 p.m. on September 9th. Italy is gonna play North Macedonia 2:45, and Andorra is gonna play Belarus on Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and Romania against Israel 2:45, and the last game will be Kosovo versus Switzerland 2:45. So most of the games are gonna be at 2:45 tomorrow. So you guys are gonna have to pick one. And tonight, FIFA World Cup qualifiers for 2026. Brazil is gonna play against Argentina is playing tonight against Ecuador at 8 p.m. Colombia is gonna play Venezuela 7 p.m. Uruguay is gonna play Chile 7 p.m. and Paraguay is gonna play against Peru 6:30 p.m. Brazil will be playing tomorrow at 8:45 p.m. Eastern time against Bolivia. And those are the quick bites for today. And also they have dropped the list for the Ballon d'Or, the 30 list. couple names. The people were
Yep.
pissed off, like Mike Mania,
I thought
Liao, and
I thought he was in there. Oh,
he
Leao didn't
wasn't.
make it
They
either.
said
Damn.
yeah, Liao didn't make it.
Marcus
Uh,
Rashford.
you know who? You know who? I don't mind. I mean, Marcus Rashford had a good season. Ter Stegen kind of not making the list. It's like Ter Stegen gave Barcelona so many points last season,
Yeah,
and he was also part of the reason why Barcelona won as well. Not making the 30 list is crazy to me.
the best defensive team in Spain. Conceded less goals.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
not,
mean, you know what's crazy? I know a lot of people are outraged over Marcus Rashford not making it. I was like, I didn't really feel too bad because he didn't play the first half of the season well, like
yeah.
before the World Cup. And then when he came back from the World Cup, he went
He
on a
was on
tear.
fire,
Yeah,
bro.
he went on a tear for 2.5 months, and
Yeah,
then he just petered out. Like he
yeah.
just knows that. So I'm like, yeah, I can't reward. Like you didn't go to the World Cup because you were injured. Was he? Did he? I don't remember actually.
He went to the World Cup.
Yeah.
He went to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
World
yeah,
Cup
yeah. He did.
because
He
he
did.
scored like a couple one, and he had that
Yeah.
famous free kick that was very very close. Um, they needed that. I think they needed that goal to reach somewhere. I don't remember even the end. Oh, against France, it was the last free kick. But
but
yeah, he was there.
yeah, I didn't feel too bad. I was like, yeah, to make the Ballon d'Or list. I mean, I know there's a lot of players on there that you could put him against Marcus Rashford, but I feel like his season was more of a flash in the pan thing than like rewarding consistency over maybe 8 months of football. Like, he played 2.5 months of great football, and then afterwards he was just like
Disappeared.
middle.
Mid a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just mid. So, I wasn't too outraged, and
Yeah.
I'm a huge Manchester United fan. I was even calling for him to be Ballon d'Or, like in the Ballon d'Or
You
list,
remember?
like when
Yeah.
he was balling out, beating Barcelona. Well, not beating, but well, we did beat Barcelona, but but he was on a tear, but with the famous celebration, making
Yeah.
the internet.
Had us saying like he's better than Vinicius. You remember? We were going crazy, bro. We gotta be stopped sometimes.
uh,
But yeah, while we're talking about Man United, actually, we can transition to the first topic about troubles in United, Mike. So you guys lost on Sunday against Arsenal 3-1.
Mhm.
Rashford scored first, had it started for Man United a couple seconds or a couple minutes. Right after, Odegaard had the equalizer. Then second goal was from Rice, and the third goal was from
Jesus.
Jesus.
Mhm.
So troubles in United. How like what's your thought about like when you're saying trouble? Are you talking about in general all the
Yeah,
crisis that's happening,
yeah.
or towards the game? Do you want to start talking about the game first, or you wanna how do you want to do it?
Well, it's well. Let's start about the game first, and then that's a catalyst
Yeah,
because, like one thing that people will always tell you in sports, it's like winning cures everything. Winning could mask every bad smell that's going on. Like it doesn't matter. Like as long as you're winning, if Manchester United has 4 wins out of 4 wins, there's no real talk about Mason Greenwood or Anthony and his case going on in Brazil right now. Like,
or even
so
Sancho.
exactly, or Jadon Sancho, like, nobody's even talking about their dad. They're just talking about what's happening with the success at United, and United's winning, so nobody cares about the rest of the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um but we have to start with the game and how Manchester United has been performing. And Manchester United, like it seems like over the last, I don't know, since Alex Ferguson left, I know when David Moyes came in, it was all downhill. There was no progress under David Moyes. And then
Van Gaal was next.
Van Gaal came in, started providing some type of stability there, but his football was terrible. Nobody liked him. And then Mourinho came in, and Mourinho really started, you know, bringing a little bit of standards back at United, finished second, and then afterwards regressed again. Then Ole comes in, progress, and then regression. And it's the same thing here now. Ten Hag had what we would call a magical year last season. Uh, two cup runs, one, ended up in the final against Manchester City. We lost that. And we should have been in the Europa League final, but the team fumbled again. But we still ended up in the quarterfinals, and we ended up third on in the table with a team that I don't think anybody would have expected to finish in those positions. And now you coming into this year with with another full preseason under his belt, you think that the team would improve and start making those strides towards the next step. And it's a regression again. Like, that's what it is. Like, the team started off just as bad as they did last year, except that we haven't been losing as terribly, but we have been losing still. We lost to Arsenal, and we lost to who else we lost to? Tottenham.
Top teams.
And then the games that we won, we didn't win convincingly. Like, they were ugly wins. Like, we had to come back versus Nottingham Forest, and in the game versus Wolves absolutely dominated the entire game. And then let's be honest, Wolves this year is a relegation team. Like, what I thought would have been a good team for Wolves, I'm not mad that my man left. He was like, "Oh, I'm out."
Lopetegui?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they were saying that he wanted more players and was expecting more players of, when coaches come in, like there's a lot of good players in Wolves. Like, when I say good players, like players that can play, but he's trying to build his own identity. So maybe he was asking players that fits what he wants to, but they're like, "Yo, buddy, relax."
You lose your two best players. It's like,
I'm out.
I
thought he was gonna go to Saudi Arabia, but he really didn't want to say, right?
Yeah. So yeah, man, I think that's where we have to start, and then some of the criticism has to start being aimed at Ten Hag and his team selection, and the change of tactics and the tactics that he wants to employ this year. Like, the team isn't performing and playing the same way that they did under him last season. And we have a whole bunch of injuries now too, which piles on top of all the stuff that's surrounding around the United squad. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Now I was gonna say that, so there was a statistic about you playing against top teams that you have not won last year. And it's starting to be another case again this year because you play.
I think it's only for away games, because we beat City, we beat Arsenal, we beat Liverpool. That's the one win that actually turned the season around for us, when Jadon Sancho actually scored in that game, and we beat Liverpool 2-1 early on in the season. But no, I think it's for away games. Ten Hag, his away games against top 6 clubs are absolutely horrendous. Like,
and you need to win a couple away games to win the league. But I wanted to ask you something. Like, so you're saying that about tactic. So that game is Arsenal. Did you think that the tactics did not fulfill, or it was just you lost on moments? Because I feel like overall, you guys hit on certain tactics that were good. I saw what he wanted to do, but what's your thought about the tactics against Arsenal?
No, I think that was that was a much needed improvement from the previous games. I think he did what I wanted him to do. Like, what I was asking was, even though I don't know if it's his decision necessarily, or if it's just a situation. It's just a situation that, we have so many injuries, like we have to put Eriksen back into the starting lineup next to Casemiro, and then the one thing I would say that was a real choice was, all right, we cannot have Garnacho and Marcus Rashford as the number 9. We're going to start Anthony Martial as the number 9, and then bring back Rashford to the left-hand side, because Rashford, for a month and a half now, was doing absolutely nothing for Manchester United. And even in the last game versus Nottingham Forest, he won the penalty, and he had 2 assists, I think, in the game. So it was a good performance for him, and he had the goal in this game.
That's where he can operate.
But, overall, he's still not looking like a guy that you're paying 350,000, 390,000 pounds a week for. Like, he's not looking like that guy yet.
And how do you feel about, sorry, you can finish.
No,
you can finish. Now, I was going to say, like, how do you feel about, like, at a certain moment that Onana is your quarterback?
I'm very vocal about that. I'm not an Onana fan. I like if it's I can understand like if the team is performing at the optimal level. Like when I looked at Onana and Inter Milan, for example, we're looking at a strong structure there. Like you're talking about a team that is disciplined and that has been playing with the same tactics for 2+ seasons now, with the back three and the wing backs and the three in the midfield with Kanaloglu, Brozovic, and Barella. You're talking about three top midfielders right there. Now you're playing in Italy, which is a slower paced game. No disrespect to Italy, but now you're bringing into to England, where you're playing with Licha. Varane, has some type of pace, but he's injured again. So now you're playing with Lindelof, who's a little bit slower. Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw injured, but Dalot comes in, and you're looking at the tactics where, all right, Ten Hag wants to invert the fullbacks. Casemiro is dropping down even deeper to form a back three with the center backs. Now you have the midfield completely open with Bruno Fernandes and Eriksen, who actually wants to move a little bit forward, and now leaving this gaping hole in the midfield. Onana, okay, you're looking at like, yeah, you want to keep possession, you want to make all these back passes and stuff like that. But now, like, what's the deal when we're out of possession? Which often happens with Manchester United. Now, if you're losing possession and Onana has to make saves and make decisions, we saw at Wolves, he made a boneheaded decisions. Thankfully, they didn't award a penalty. But he's not a good guy. He's not a good goalkeeper. Like, the guy is he wants to be a midfielder. He wants to be an outfield player. He's not a good goalkeeper. And I'm looking at some of the goals that he's taken this year already, and he's already taken 8 goals in 4 games. De Gea could have saved at least 3 of those. So personally, from myself and my standpoint, I'm not an Onana fan. I don't really like him quarterbacking. I think he has the arrogance and the demand that a goalkeeper probably needs in today's game to communicate with his defenders. But do I think the defenders are listening? No. So
I feel like a couple of times he was able to find like Casemiro in the midfield a little bit, like deep in the midfield, and he had more success finding Casemiro and Anthony on the right side.
Yeah.
He did not have any success finding Rashford on the left side. I think because also like Ben White was really like well put, like when like he didn't leave any space when that happened, so he's always gonna get it over Rashford. That's the few times he had success. Most of the times, like it was like on the left, it was like possession loss. So yeah, that was part of it. I feel like the only thing I felt about like the tactics, I felt like at the beginning was very good. In terms of defending when you didn't have the ball, I feel like on the right side, that's why we didn't see Saka that much, because they never left any 2-versus-1 opportunities for Saka. And Ben White. So it was always even, because Rashford did a better job like
tracking back.
Like we don't see that often, but I feel like this is probably Ten Hag asking him to do so.
100%.
So they don't get any bad opportunities. I mean, bad situation with Saka. I think also Casemiro did a very great job tracking the man that we're gonna talk about, that Kai Havertz. Even though he didn't do much in the game to create danger. And also like the defensive line at the times, like they were very well put. And that's also on the right side as well. They did not leave many opportunities. Obviously, you always talked about Anthony tracking
his
work
rate.
Yeah. So he didn't leave any 2-versus-1 opportunity as well on the right side with Martinez. Just that one time when they scored, Anthony did not track back, and Zinchenko and Martinez were able to do that 2-versus-1 against Bissaka and find Nketiah, and then back to Martinez, if I'm not mistaken, and then finding Odegaard with that shot, very good shot. Overall, but everything was going well for them. I understand one point also, like you're saying, that when possession is lost in the midfield, it can be very dangerous for counter attack. One thing I felt like you guys did very good is exploiting the space that Arsenal. I don't know. I was saying that in the chat. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. I said it's I'm like, wow, with that high defensive line, bro, they're leaving
Yeah,
so much space. And then
yeah,
Ilinga did get a goal out of that. And I saw so many space, bro. It's like, and then you were like a possession loss with Arsenal. Ericsson, very great pass to Rashford, was able to exploit that. And I felt like every time you guys were left with space, you guys did a good job. Not specifically creating much because on the right side, Anthony's not creating for you,
hmm
and that's just because Anthony is not in that mindset to create at the moment. He's very having a lot of problems, but he's doing everything well. But I feel like if you had another very great right winger that creates, you could have created more danger and more opportunity to score. But that's what I think a positive. Like you were able to exploit spaces very quickly. But from the few notes I saw from the game, that's what I, because every time Zichenko tucks in, there's spaces in the right. Ben White, space in the left. So many space. I'm Arsenal's gonna get. They're gonna get a goal out of it.
yeah. Arsenal is a team that's gonna concede goals, like just like
Yeah.
Liverpool, like these
And
those teams.
Barcelona too. We're gonna speak of Barcelona too.
Yeah,
Barcelona too.
those teams are primed to get scored on, but they
Mhm.
they play a brand of football that they know, like their mindset is to create multiple goals. So like you can get an
And you
opportunity to
saw that in the
score.
disallowed goal, Garnacho too. There was so many space for him.
Yeah, but in the aftermath of that game, you have the press asking Ten Hag about team selection and why Scott McTominay and Jadon Sancho wasn't there. And he says Scott was ill. Jadon Sancho wasn't selected because he is the manager and he selects the team and he has a lot of options up front. And he just says like, hey, listen, we didn't pick him because his level wasn't at the requirements of our standards. So we just didn't pick him and we left him at home. And Jadon Sancho comes out and makes a statement, and it is a pin state,
X, if
and
everyone wants to see it.
it is a pin statement. He hasn't retracted it. It's still on his
Yep,
Twitter.
checked it last night.
It's still on his Twitter. He's standing by it.
He said,
There's
don't believe everything you read.
you know
I'm conducting myself very well in training.
yeah, and yeah, man. So there's all this stink around the club. The Glazers not wanting to sell.
And
The
stock
team,
went down.
yeah, yep. The team on the stock market went down $500 million. So yeah, there's a lot going on at the club behind the scenes right now. Ten Hag is supposed to hold talks with his team with Jadon Sancho. I think the transfer market for other areas around the world closes today or tomorrow. So
Yeah,
Donny van de Beek like has to find a club today or tomorrow, or it's done, and they'll try to figure out what to do with Jadon. But I don't think Jadon will be leaving the club this window. Maybe in January we'll see. But
yeah. When
you
more
know,
times comes in,
there's
because I
just a
don't think
lot.
he wants to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on right now with the club, and hopefully we're able to get some wins together so that the stink could go away, and then
There's
we
one
have
stinker you didn't talk about.
Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Anthony was
Anthony,
dropped by Brazil.
yeah, dropped by Brazil because of the accusations against him as his ex girlfriend. So
Gabriel Cavain.
yeah. So there's an investigation going on that's in Brazil right now,
Mm-hmm.
and Manchester United is also thinking about dropping him. And with the whole Mason Greenwood situation, I think they're really banking on the fact that this is the international break and maybe some people will forget about it by the time they come back to the club, but
I don't think it will.
more than likely Anthony will be dropped even though the investigation is in Brazil. It's not a domestic case that's happening in England, but with all the situation that happened in the past with Mason Greenwood the past year and a half or so, I think he's going to be dropped until
Did you
everything
see the
is
last
resolved.
statement though?
No, I did
So
not.
that's the
Well,
reason I
what?
don't think it's gonna be dropped, because like there was another statement that her ex girlfriend said that there was a time they were in a hotel
Mhm.
um in Manchester United. I mean I'm sorry, in Manchester. Um
Where they had to, where
the yacht
his,
Regency, and they said that Anthony um Anthony was being violent, and then they had to be treated by one of the Man United employees. and he said like basically they were like kind of like covering it a little bit. So that's what I was like. I don't know if that's the statement. I don't know what's gonna be out of the statement, but I know like you said, Man United put a statement out. They said that they're inquiring about it, and at the moment there no further comments. And there is another statements as well. There was another woman that came out, ex-girlfriend as well. A banker said that Anthony also had been aggressive with her. So I feel like it's not gonna go away because there's gonna be a lot of noise out of it. So
yeah,
we're gonna see what's gonna be there. But like I said, like United put a statement saying that they understand. They're inquiring about it, and then as well, like no further comments. So it's gonna be one of those Mason Greenwood situation where they're gonna analyze and then make the decision.
So you have that. You have Jadon Sancho. You have the Onana criticism, Casemiro criticism, and then now you have Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire closing out games for Manchester United.
You got problems, Mike.
Yeah, so there's a lot of problems brewing at United. But like you
what's
said,
the best outlook though?
The best outlook right now is that Anthony is suspended from the team. We have that's the best outlook. We have Facundo Pellistri. We have Amad Diallo, who's hopefully going to come back within a month, and then we have Garnacho. Let's try Garnacho out wide on the right. I know he's not typically good on that side, but he's more creative and more dynamic. Let's try him out there on the right. Hopefully, could.
When does that the young midfielder comes back? I forgot. He was hurt on that game against Real Madrid.
Yeah, Amad Mino is I think he's on track for October.
He put Instagram or Twitter post with
the clock. Yeah. So, but it's tough, man. He's 18 years old, and we're counting on an 18-year-old to come and save us, man.
Hey, man, it's getting young. Look at the guy from Barcelona already getting called out in Spain.
Amrabat is here now, so hopefully that provides a little bit of security. I don't know when Mason Mount will be back, but the positive outlook, the best outlook right now is that we get healthy. Like that's it. Like getting healthy, suspend Anthony for now so that the cloud looms, make a real statement about what's going to go on with Jadon Sancho, if he's going to be part of the team or not. And you guys squashed it so that we stopped hearing about this, because the team cannot afford distractions in the situation that we're in right now.
All right.
But like you said, Casemiro did a good job on that boy. on that man.
Yo.
65 million pounds.
Oh man.
What do you think? Before I get started, what do you think about his involvement at Arsenal right now? And of course, for the audience, for the listeners, we're talking about Kai Havertz.
Before I get to Kai Havertz, I wanted to we're gonna get there. We're gonna get right now. Like I wanted to ask you something. I'm implementing something new that I didn't let you know about.
Okay.
It's called Fun Facts of the Day.
Let's see.
So I'm gonna ask you the question, then I'm gonna let the audience know what a couple fun facts. So now we're talking about Man United, and we're gonna transition to Arsenal for Kai Havertz. But the fun fact is, Mike, what was Man United's name before at 1818? I mean, before they had the name of Manchester United.
Damn. Weren't they just the Red Devils? Were they?
You sure?
I'm not sure at all. I'm not sure at all. I do not know
you don't know your Man United history, huh?
No, I do not know my United history.
1878, what were their name before they were?
I have no clue.
All right, so fun fact for the day, they used to be called the Newton Heath Football Club. It was founded by the carriage and the wagon department at the Newton Heath depot of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. They were financed by the railway company, and the teams play against the railway team. So before they were Man United, in 1878, they were called the Newton Heath Football Club.
Another change.
Yes, sir. And if you guys want more, according to the Bleacher Report, and another fun fact, Mike, for you again. One more question.
Mm-hmm.
What year did Man United have their treble?
Their treble?
Yeah,
1999.
All right. One out of two. I couldn't let my boy like that, man.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it
Ooh,
was 1998,
thank
1999. They won the
thank you,
Premier
thank you,
League champion.
thank thank you for that layup.
I know, right? I'm like, let me give him a layup. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup under Ferguson. So it was the first English team that won the treble. Now they're not the only English team because Manchester City did it last season. But that was the fun fact for the day, guys. There's gonna be more. Let's move on to Mike's friend, Mike's boy, Havertz. All right, so I want to say something about you. You wanted to ask me something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I want it because Richie is the positive guy. Yeah, all right. Richie is the Kai
We're
Havertz
positive on
apologist.
this side.
He's the Kai Havertz apologist. What do you make of his
His
tenure so
case.
far? His tenure so far at Arsenal. Do
All
you
right,
see
so
anything positive coming out of him so far?
so far there's nothing positive because I feel like um it's gonna take time for him to implement himself in the system. That's one. He just went to a bad a bad ending of his career at Chelsea, and I'm gonna say this. I'm a quote Berbatov on that. Berbatov, who played in Bayern Leverkusen, who's also a fan of him because they play in the same club. But he said something that I kind of agree with. He's like he's not in the right mind right now. He's low on confidence, doesn't understand what he has to do in the field at this point, even though he's been indicated by his coach, and too many backward passes. And backward passes are indication of security. Like this is the easiest thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Backward passes. He needs to. I'm gonna quote again Berbatov. He needs to take more risk. You remember that time when we're looking at the video and I said it wasn't the wrong pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those situations. Yes, the right pass would have been finding Martinet in the space, and then Martinet is fast and could take. Well, there was no defender to take at this point. He would have dragged one of the center backs and then have an open guy, either Saka or Odegaard, making that run inside. That's the risk he's not taking at the moment because the right pass was just to give it back to Martinet, which is to me still not a wrong pass, but that's the easiest one. He needs to start taking some risk from time to time, but take it very slowly. Because right now he's not in the right mind, and everyone around him is not gonna. Everyone around him has a bad idea of him right now
Mm-hmm.
because he's not playing well. He's not taking chances. He's missing goals. You saw like the how do you say fly again in English? I forget.
The Oh damn, there's a word for it, but let's just call
Yeah.
it a miss shot.
A missed shot. You saw
The scuff shot.
the scuff. You saw the scuff shot. That's someone with low confidence. He's not. He don't have no confidence. So he needs to take it time, like very easy, like from time to time. Understand what's your position. Understand your role. Take some risk from time to time, so you could get confidence. Get the crowd cheering for you. Um, Shutting the haters. I'm not
Yeah.
saying like you guys are the haters. I'm saying like the critiques.
Yeah.
Um, and then getting that confidence to maybe 60% and then build it from there. Because if you're like Berbatov said, if you're trying to do everything at once to get everything back from the time you came back from Chelsea the first year that we knew who Kai Havertz was. Um, if you're trying to get that in one shot, you're gonna just crash. It's impossible. You gotta take it one by one. But he has to take risk. If he's not taking risk and if he's always comfortable with those backward passes, okay with 5 out of 10 performances, we're not gonna see Kai Havertz in Arsenal shirt for long. They're gonna replace him at some point. He's gonna make his way to the bench and disappear. And you're not gonna get so many chances in top clubs. So take it my 3 points. Take it slow. Take some risks from time to time, and getting your confidence back very, very, very quickly.
Mm. The only point that I would agree with you on is the fact that he's in a new system. But the other thing is like Kai Havertz is still in London. He just left Chelsea to go to Arsenal. He's still in London, so he probably stays at the same house. Like I don't think he moved. So he's comfortable. Uh, I just think that there's this awkward situation with managers that and teams that pay a large sum of money for players. And there's two players in this situation right now, and they both came from Chelsea. It is Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, that provide absolutely nothing for the clubs that they're playing for right at the moment. Right now, Mason Mount is injured. Hopefully, he could watch more games at home and understand, like, when he comes back, what his role is going to be. But I think for Arteta, you've seen the positive aspects of what the other players have provided for you when they've come in to replace Kai Havertz, like Fabio Vieira, whether it is what's the other, Leandro Trossard, for example, like what they have provided for the team. And there's no denying it. Like, Kai Havertz is absolutely low on confidence. I thought he was going to score. Like, he was in acres of space, nobody really near him, and he completely, absolutely missed the ball. Like, he wasn't even looking at it. Like, he was just like, "Oh my God, I need to shoot this on target," and he completely misses the ball. And then,
And that's the situation of what I was saying about what I was saying. Like, gotta take it very slow.
And then we thankfully don't get scored on. Like, and that would have been good for his confidence, and I think that would have alleviated the pressure on Mikel Arteta to leave him in the squad for another few weeks or months or so. But the team is winning, so he's still going to be part of the starting lineup, in my opinion. But what I'm seeing from Kai Havertz is that he is holding the team back, because in the certain positions that he's in, it's like Arsenal is playing 10 versus 11 at times, because I feel like his positioning, like on, like, out of possession, like one defensively, and we saw it like when Manchester United scored the goal, he's the one that made the bad pass, and then he's trying to track back, and he cannot catch Eriksen, and Eriksen releases Marcus Rashford for the goal. So I feel like a lot of those things are really going against the team, and as a manager, you have to make a decision. It's like, all right, I need to protect this guy from himself. Like, you're just making it worse by playing him more, and he's making those mistakes constantly. And you got guys like me that's just gonna pile on. I'm just gonna look at
guys
it.
like me.
I'm just gonna pile on. I'm just gonna look at it. I'm like, yo, dude, he's not doing anything for you. So I think which is one of the reasons why I'm so mad at Jadon Sancho and his statements. Ten Hag gave him 2.5 months to go to mental rehab to get his confidence back. And this is how you repay the manager, when you have come back and you have done jack shit for the team. Like, you've been underperforming. You nobody likes the way that you train. Some of your teammates and the staff don't like the way that you train, because you're not 100%.
I heard that, and then you're
not 100% committed. And I think it's the same thing for Arteta. Arteta has to, like, kind of like
make a decision.
Pull him to the side, and it's like, yo, listen, I'm gonna take you out the team, but it's not because you're bad. I need you to get back in this mentally. Watch the game from the sidelines for a couple of games, and then pick and choose where you're going to play him. If you're going to play him against a weaker team, so that he could, like,
get the confidence,
feel himself a little bit, and
more
then,
touches.
Get some goals, be more involved.
Yeah.
Takes, like, in a situation like you said, like, he's able to take risks.
Put him in a Carabao Cup or something like this.
Yeah. Put him in a situation that he can take risks.
Yeah.
And that, it's not going to be detrimental to the team, because they're going to still be able to win in the end.
Yep.
And I think that's something that he has to make. And it's like, yo, play him in spurts. Like, if you're going to play him, it's like, yo, we're going to play you half an hour. Come in with fresh legs versus a team that's tired, and let's see if you can be a difference maker, so that you could kind of get your confidence back. Because right now, Kai Havertz doesn't have it. And I'm going to come in and week out, just piling on him until you figure out what to do with him.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to be able to keep on backing him up. Yeah, but because it hasn't been, like you said, it hasn't been pretty, but I feel like Berbatov's statement was on point on that. Like he said it like, yo, you have to take more risk, no more backward passes all the time. Take them risk. Don't do it everything at once, because at the situation you can't do everything at once, because you're already putting yourself in a tough situation. You have to get out very smoothly, and then see where you get from there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move on to not the last topic, but the Barcelona regression. This one I didn't really agree with you with that, Mike,
Mm.
on that topic. So I wanna hear what you have to say, Xavi and Barcelona regression, because I don't think they regressed, but let's see what you have to say. What's your mind on that?
Yeah, I mean, for so far, what I think they like, I'm not seeing the same because I remember watching Barcelona play versus Manchester United over the two legs. I think they were more dynamic, they were more creative, and I think one of the thing that would back up what I'm trying to say right now is like Lewandowski basically saying like he's playing alone in attack right now. Like, the tactics that Xavi is employing doesn't really suit him. And I feel like, the way that like he ended up as the Pichichi last year, which is the La Liga top scorer, um, I think the team was playing a more attacking brand of football than it is right now. And I can't, you could probably make the argument that the teams that they're playing against, the opponents that they're playing against, are actually trying to park the bus versus them, which is making things a little bit more difficult for them. But I feel like a team like Barcelona, with all the talent that they have, they could actually figure it out. So, I like the touch of Lamine Yamal getting the nod over Rafinha, but now he has Yao Felix on the squad, so I don't know where Yao Felix is going to fit in, and he has Cancelo coming in as well. So I don't know if he's thought that and put that in the back of his mind that his team is not scoring enough. But where I would say like they kind of regress is that they're actually conceding goals early on now,
Mm-hmm.
which they really didn't do that much last season. So for right now, I'm a little bit skeptical about what Xavi is trying to do with his Barcelona team right now, especially with that lineup that um De Jong had started at center back, even though I know like the heat map will show he spent most of the game in midfield.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm just not sure of like
what they're doing.
what he wants to do right now, which leads me to think that they're kind of regressing. And I don't know. I like the Barcelona team, man. I really do. So what are your thoughts? Where do you disagree?
Yeah, because I specifically don't think they were regressing a little bit. They're all building something different. Um, but I don't really see the regression because like the first game against Getafe, like you said, Getafe parked a bus. But Getafe was very physical. That's when Rafinha had the red card. I'm not sure if he was suspended for a couple of games. That's what probably gave Yamile oh no what's his name again? Sorry.
Yamal?
Yamal, sorry, Yamile
Mm-hmm.
Yamal, the new sensation,
Mm-hmm.
16 years old. So that was a tough game. Barcelona had to really figure out how to score, and they were not able to. I felt like there was a very poor if officiated game because like at the beginning the Getafe defenders or players were like very much too physical, and that was sometimes like then they punched kind of Rafinha on the floor, and Rafinha just lost at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a tough game. Cadiz was a better game. Um, Villarreal was one of the game that was more open because Villarreal played a more open game. You remember that game was 4-3, was crazy. Osasuna was the latest game I was watching, and it felt like they were playing against it felt like they were playing a 2-2-4-2 at some point, like just two defenders, Christensen and Kunde, and you have the two midfielders, which is Frankie De Jong and Romeu. Romeu, I'm not sure if you have anything to say about him, but one positive thing I saw about him
I like
last
him.
game, yeah, he cleaned up a lot. He stopped a lot of counterattacks when they lost possession. Picked up possession from him quickly for them, and is able to move the ball vertically very well, and also cover for Frankie De Jong. He allows Frankie De Jong to be more flexible to go up a little bit and stuff like that. Uh, One aspect you were referring, I do understand. And Lewandowski said it as well. Like he doesn't feel like he has much offense. But when now with Cancelo coming in and also João Felix, I think he's gonna have more opportunity and more creation with João Felix. One thing I feel like João Felix is, I think because when they ask Xavi, what do you plan on playing Joao Felix? How is he gonna play? He said Joao Felix could play 7, 11, the number 7, number 11, or number 9. Number 9, I feel like he's just gonna play when Lewandowski's not here. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. But number 7, 11 means left and right. So I already see I already see what he's gonna play, how he's gonna play. When like for example, like the two balls you receive on the right side, back from the goal, quickly give it back to the whoever give it. I think it was Balde or Gavi give it to him, and his first instinct is go straight to the mid behind Lewandowski. So he's gonna expect the ball back in that position where Lewandowski could move left or right to the space, and he's gonna find Lewandowski or find Cancelo on the right side and then cross to Lewandowski. So I feel like Lewandowski's gonna score a little bit more now. I do see the point of you're saying, like, because now I feel Joao Felix is a different profile than Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati, when you saw it when we were talking about, like, Ansu Fati and Lewandowski are not complementary. Like
Yeah.
they both want to
They
score.
they look like they hate each other
They
on that
hate each other. They don't care
field.
about each other. I'm like, when I get the ball, I'm going straight and score. And Joao Felix is not a scorer. We saw it against Chelsea. But we
Yep.
saw how much opportunity he created as well.
Yep.
But didn't have any number 9. Now he has a number 9. We're gonna see the opportunity. He's gonna create a little bit. Like, he's gonna be a more complementary player for Lewandowski to me. And Cancelo also is gonna have more crosses. And I felt like this is an extra to the offense that Lewandowski was asking. Now I don't know, like, if Joao is gonna start right away because there's a couple other players. It depends on how they're gonna be playing.
Yeah.
I know Gavi's not gonna start all the time in that left position where he's not really a left winger. He's more half. How do I say, like a half? Um, I would say like a half space. Him and Gundogan was playing the half space where they have to make those runs. Gundogan made a lot of runs. I don't expect Gundogan to play that high all the time as well. I think Xavi's gonna kind of figure it out when he has his squad fully prepared, like with Pedri. But it's Pedri and Joao Felix and Gavi and that, like, left. If they're starting that left, they all have a different profile. Joao Felix, you know exactly he's gonna go right behind the striker. Pedri's gonna be one of those guys who's gonna be playing everywhere in the field. Gavi is just gonna be fighting, um, staying wide, also occupying the half space to make those runs. And you have guys like Gundogan and Frankie de Jong's gonna also making sure that they maintaining the tempo of the game, finding the spaces, finding the runs from Balde and Cancelo. And I feel like that's why I don't feel like they're regressing, because now they have so many midfielders that have different identities, and it's only gonna benefit Lewandowski. The only thing I would say, like, they I don't know if I feel like they need a backup striker, but I guess Joao Felix could play that as well, like has like Xavi said. That's what I felt.
Well,
That's why I felt like they didn't regress.
we shall see.
They're gonna
Shall,
get scored on. It's
you
the
know,
same situation as Arsenal, but they're gonna keep the ball like Liverpool. Like you were saying, like we're not gonna see the defender woes until, like, they lose those ball and counter attacks.
when does Araujo come back?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna quickly take a look at it, but
Mm.
teams are gonna be teams that are very good in counter attack, like Real Madrid, are gonna be able to exploit the side the space that Ball is gonna leave in Cancelo for sure. And Ball is not a good defender.
No, he is not.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Everything else is
No,
very
he's
good,
not.
but I just
He,
noticed yesterday is like, bro, you're really not good at
he
defending.
he reminds me of like a better what's that kid's name again? Like damn, I forget. Um dude took him back at Aston Villa.
Aston Villa,
Yeah. The left back, Moreno.
Moreno. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he reminds me of a better Moreno,
Well,
but we shall see, man. I
we shall
mean,
see.
I would hope
Only time will tell us who, if they regress for real, or if
I
they
hope
gonna.
it's better for the league if they're good and they're competitive, but it's
Yeah.
better for Real Madrid if they suck
If they
and
regress,
we can win.
you're funny, Mike. All right. So last topic for the day: Team USA. Team USA, man. Team USA.
Yeah.
They're gonna be playing against Germany for the semifinal.
Yeah. I said
And
I was looking at that team. I was like, man, Luka Doncic is going to destroy that team. But
I'm like, bet.
Luka Lone lost 3 games at that tournament.
I bet. Like we mentioned the first time they gave us the team selection. It was an attractive team, but I'm like, okay, that's a team. They have something. They want to prove something, so they're gonna give him their all. Like Anthony Edwards have something to prove. Like he wants to be the main guy. Brunson still wants to be a very competitive guy. You got Halliburton, who just got paid and wants to show the world that he can handle any pressure, internationally or domestic. Austin Reeves is still showing us that, hey, I'm that
Yeah.
white boy.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on me. Prepare the next contract. Uh, who else we're referring to? I haven't seen much of Bobby Portis, to be honest.
Yeah, he's solid.
No, I mean me personally, I haven't seen
Yeah.
much to him to discuss about him. Brandon Ingram was very mad that he didn't get many touches and he got promoted to the bench because of Josh Hart is in the starting lineup for more balance. And Josh Hart, you know what he can give you: energy, rebounds. Josh Hart said once in versus Cleveland, I get rebounds that breaks your heart. And I felt that because there was one rebound he took, and there was a camera going over Evan Mobley, and he was like, and you're like, yeah, series is over. That one hurt them. So like, what's your prediction? Are they gonna make the final and win?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Especially the way that Germany won their last game. And I mean the clip that went viral, of course, is, you know,
Oh,
don't you
Dennis,
ever don't you ever touch me like that again.
the
I'll
coach
tell
was
you.
like, I know, but I'm just saying,
I'm just telling you to sit.
coach folded a
I'm
little
just
bit at
telling
the
you to
end.
sit. Yeah, man. So they won their last game by 2 points. I think it was versus Lithuania, actually. And Dennis Schroeder took 26 shots in that game,
What you made
and he
two?
and he made a whopping four.
Oh, four.
Nobody else on the team had double-digit shots. I think the next closest person had 9, which was one of the Wagners, and I think he ended up with 15 points. Dennis Schroeder shot 4 for 26. So that just tells me that, yeah,
They beat Latvia, Mike.
Latvia, okay.
Yeah, 81-79.
It was a L. It was one of those countries with the letter L. But yeah, so like what I'm thinking is that, yeah, the coach doesn't really have the reins of that team. It's really like, hey, Dennis is gonna run the Dennis show, and I really think that USA is going to trounce.
And I feel like USA got a chip on their shoulder because of the comment that was made a couple weeks ago. They want to show the world, like, I'm gonna destroy everyone that's
Yeah,
coming my way and show you guys
especially after
NBA
that
is the way.
loss too. Especially after that loss too. So,
Yeah.
everybody's just waiting for that one mistake and that they're gonna pile on. So they lost that game. I feel like the competitive field that's left isn't really too strong for them to overcome. It's really Canada and Germany, and I think they beat Germany tomorrow, and then we'll see what they do on Sunday in the finals versus the winner of the Canada game. Who does Canada play again?
Canada's playing against.
Is it Latvia?
Yeah.
No,
Canada,
not
no,
Latvia.
no, no. What am I
Lithuania,
talking about? Canada's playing Serbia.
Serbia.
Yeah. And no, it's
Um,
not an L, and it's not Mike.
yeah.
Uh,
So I mean, Serbia playing without the Joker. I mean, they're still very good. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but I think Canada, they really have they have a strong group as well. They have a good team. They got Dort, they have Dylan, they got Shea, they got Barrett, they got Kelly Olynyk.
They got Dwight Powell.
Yeah. So they got a really good physical strong group with balanced scoring there. So we'll see who wins that in that game, but for me, the outcome is clear tomorrow versus Germany. I'm expecting a blowout. I don't even think it's going to be close. But that's just me because I'm not. I mean, once that clip went viral, it just cemented it in my mind. I was like, yo, dude, like, yeah, this team is not together. Nobody's speaking up.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling Dennis to shut the fuck up and just like it's
Yo.
like, yo, let's get back in the game. So
Nah,
yeah,
Dennis, you don't tell me nothing, bro.
yeah. So yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
they had
know.
a very good moment at the end when they all like kind of like crowded Dennis Schroeder, but I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. But
Yeah. We shall
Anthony
see.
Edwards
What do you
didn't have a
think?
good game actually last night. He only had 3 points. I'm not sure. Obviously, he did many other things like bring energy. What do I think? I think the obviously um I was one of the first guys that were behind that team when the team was selected. I'm like, yo, this is not an attractive team, but this is a very competitive. Remember that the Gilbert Arenas comment, like they were saying like it's a sorry team. I'm like, how is it a sorry? Many of these guys start for the team. Like Jalen Brunson starts for his team. Anthony Edwards does. Mikal Bridges does. Jerry Jackson Jr. does. Austin Reeves maybe now. Tyrese with that contract, he's definitely starting. He was already. Brandon Ingram is a starter. It leaves you about like 3 or 4 guys that are not starting. So I wasn't sure. But what do I think? I think they're gonna win. Um, I said to myself that if they did not win, it would have been probably against Luca's team. But I don't see much but Canada on their way. And with all that thing that built up about like the world thing, I feel like the world comment. Even though I kind of agree with the runner, winning the NBA championship is not winning the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the World Championship, but
Championships.
I feel like they're gonna play with a chip on shoulder, be like, okay, we're gonna show them that this is the best league and also this is the best country in the competition. And I feel like everyone's kind of feeling themselves. They're getting to the last moment of the competition. They already have the chemistry. Everyone knows their role. If they're in their difficulties, and Anthony Edwards is gonna come in and do his thing, and he's very physical. Jalen Brunson is gonna get his thing in the beginning, like always. Um, yeah, man, and everyone else like in the bench, like when you plugged in the bench with Austin Reeves and Tyrese Halliburton, they're able to maintain the scoring a little bit. Obviously, they're gonna be some times where um they get lost a little bit, and then the opposite team is gonna get back and stuff like that. But we've seen it when they lost, they were able to go back and scare them a little bit. They came back with like 4 points.
Well, who?
The last game they lost against Lithuania. No, who did they lose it to?
USA.
Yeah, they lost against Lithuania. They came back in the very fourth quarter, like at the
Yeah.
end. They came back for like 6 points or 5 or something.
Yeah, they
gave
got
Lithuania
close.
They very got close. It just showed you like, hey man, like they have arsenals to do many things. So I think they're gonna win. It's gonna be I'm wishing to see a finals of Canada versus USA. It will be a very good final. Yes, sir. Anything you want to add on?
I have
I know you.
nothing else.
I
I
think
have nothing else to add. They're gonna shut me up.
You just holding on the Kai Havertz thing for now.
Yeah.
All right, so it was episode 66. Like, subscribe, and follow and comment. We're gonna have more of those little fun facts in the future. And Mike, you have anything else you want to add on? Like anything in your mind?
Nah.
No?
I'm just curious to see what happens with Damian Lillard and James
Oh,
Harden
yeah.
and all those
Yo,
guys.
that's crazy. I had a dream yesterday. Like you talking about, I saw James Harden playing for Philly. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but I was kind of confused. I'm like, didn't he just say that he doesn't want to play for that team anymore?
Yeah,
So
I mean, he gonna be playing for
might
Philly.
be a hand because he might be a hand that he's still for Philly. I don't know about the Damian Lillard situation, but like you said, it's looking like those situations about KD asking out in the summer, and it got resolved all the way in February.
Yep.
So we might not see a trade now. We might see a trade like maybe.
I said that too. Like when it comes to superstars,
it's not easy.
It's not an easy situation. It's one of those situations that always drags.
Yeah, and teams get salty too. Like even though like Damian Lillard did a lot for Portland, but teams is not gonna take some bogus trade.
Listen, man, humans are petty.
Yeah,
humans are very.
We're gonna
petty.
drag this. We're gonna drag your happiness for. you're gonna be stuck with us until we're like, okay, like this is it. Like for Brooklyn Nets, they're like, okay, this is it. You're out. Like we're gonna find a trade for you.
They don't care how much Dame did for
Nah,
for the
bro.
organization
Nah.
for X amount of years. Damian was like, "Yo, nah, y'all need to trade me to Miami." And they're like,
The Miami Heat.
they're like,
Biscayne Boulevard. You
it's
know
like,
it?
trade you to who? Like you call the shots here? Nah, I'm gonna trade you for whoever I want to trade you, buddy.
Oh man.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Episode 66. Peace.
Peace.